Well, welcome to this Saturday edition of the Berea-report. Since the Browns schedule has been pushed back a day with them playing on Monday night, and Mary Kay, let's start with the injury news because there is a whole slew of injuries that we have been keeping an eye on. Guys rolled out, guys rolled questionable. So just what is the latest there that we learned today?
Well, it's no huge surprise, but we pretty much knew that Wyatt Teller, David Njoku, and Denzel Ward were going to be out this game, and they are in fact out for the Bengals game. There are a couple of guys, though, who are questionable, and that could have a big impact on the game. One of those is linebacker Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. He's got an ankle injury, and then we have, it was a knee injury, sorry about that. And then Greedy Williams, he's been out with an illness, and Greg Newsome, questionable with an oblique injury. So you could be looking at having to go up against Joe Burrow, down a number of defensive backs, and if you're not down these defensive backs, they might not be 100% feeling themselves.
Yeah, that was definitely noteworthy in that the secondary could be pretty depleted going against one of the better quarterbacks in this league. We did also hear from Myles Garrett today, though, from the front of that defense, and he talked about a lot, his status, how he's not necessarily 100% post that car accident. He doesn't know when that will be, if ever, this season, and that he feels like the Browns might have a little edge against Joe Burrow, or at least be able to kind of contain him as best as you can against a quarterback of that caliber.
Yeah, and you know what? I thought, he sounded really confident. He said, I like our chances. I think that, that's a little bit of a bold statement to make heading into this game. But I understand where he's coming from, because if you can get Jadeveon Clowney and you can get Myles Garrett getting after Joe Burrow and getting him off the mark. He's been sacked a number of times this season. They have an overhauled offensive line, and if these guys can disrupt him, they can win the game.
And for those of you wondering, Myles Garrett, of course, showed up in a costume last year. Mary Kay tried to get the scoop on that, and Myles wasn't giving too much. He said he doesn't know if he's going to have a costume yet, but if he does, it'll probably be related to his favorite show, Stranger Things. Flipping over to the offensive side of the ball, we also heard from Kareem Hunt today, who, of course, has been the talk of many, many trade rumors leading up to this year's deadline.
Yeah, and you know what? Really, Kareem was very matter-of-fact about it. He is not sure if he's going to be a Cleveland Brown after Tuesday or not. He is up for whatever happens. All he wants to do is win. I asked him, is it hard to kind of stay happy through some of the turmoil? And he said it kind of is right now. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they're on a 4-game losing streak. He absolutely hates to lose. And also we know that he wanted to be traded before the season. I think he would actually welcome an opportunity, if he could get it, to go somewhere, contend for the rest of the season. But we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, and I know Kevin Stefanski earlier this week said we shouldn't read too much into the fact that his targets and carries have gone down. But I think they've definitely missed him in that offense, and it'll be interesting to see with David Njoku out if he gets more targets. Now, it's Saturday, but let's do a little throwback, like Throwback Thursday, Throwback Saturday. Joe Hayden was in the building today. He's officially retiring as a Cleveland Brown, signing a one-day contract, and he will be honored during Monday night's game.
Yeah, it was really great to see Joe. It was great to see his family. He was one of the most enjoyable players to cover here. Obviously, one of the best cornerbacks, best players that they've had since 1999. So it was cool to see Joe. I think maybe we'll see him around Cleveland more. He'll be the man about town again like he used to be here. And also, he made a little bit of a connection with Martin Emerson, who wears that number 23, has idolized Joe Hayden. They got a chance to meet and embrace on the field today.
All right, so we will have all that coverage on Joe Hayden's special retirement here in Cleveland and everything leading up to the game over at cleveland.com. Be sure to check out cleveland.com/Browns and cleveland.com/Bengals for coverage from the other side.